Good evening, Dr. Aliza and fellow classmates. Today I am going to present to you an assignment of the subject HMEC 5213, Early Childhood Curriculum and Assessment. I am Koong Theng. I am from OUM Miri Learning Center. So I have been a preschool teacher for about 3 years now. My passion is to teach young children, and this is why I enrolled myself into this master program so that I can pursue my dream. For introduction, the whole purpose of this assignment is to create a curriculum plan for children aged 5 years old based on the Thailand model. So we have actually come up with a curriculum plan, and we give it a name as the Leader Cloud. So the Leader Cloud aims to guide teachers in scheming and accomplishing a quality preschool curriculum. So it is a student-centered approach plan. It highlights the significance for the children to discover content that is meaningful and valuable, as well as it underlines the dependability among the learning objectives, learning experiences, as well as outcomes. Before we enter to the planning of the curriculum, this is the 4 basic principles of Thailand model. The first principle, learning objective. It is used to determine the school purposes or the objective of the school, which in other meaning, what do children need to do in order to be successful. The second principle will be selection of learning experiences. It is used to identify the educational experiences which related to the purpose of education. And take note, all objectives need to be reliable with the philosophy of the school. The third principle will be organizing of learning experiences. So, organizing the experiences that delivered to the children, where the teacher has to determine a logical sequence of experience for the children. And last but not least, assessment and evaluation. Teachers need to evaluate the purpose of the experiment that have already delivered to the children. So they also need to assess the outcome that completed by a child to see whether the child achieved the objective of the lesson taught. Purpose of curriculum. So the Leader Cloud seek to help teachers interpret the curriculum plan into excellent learning experience for the children. So from there, teachers are motivated to reproduce on the ideas and philosophies introduced to achieve a better understanding on how they can apply it to improve their teaching practices. There are 5 dimensions or 5 purposes of the Leader Cloud curriculum. It is a strategy to foster children's holistic development using an integrated approach. It is used to assist the learning process to encompass children's thinking and learning. It is used to observe and evaluate children's learning and development. Teachers can use this plan to reflect on and improve proficient practices, and most importantly, this plan is used to work together with families and the communities to enrich the children's learning. Now, this is the tentative general objective that the Leader Cloud has set. So the first one, integrated approach to learning. It is a very significant acquaintance in their learning through an integrated approach. Second one, holistic development identifies that the areas of development and the learning are interconnected. The third one, applying children in learning through purposeful play. Children get to learn when they are involved in play that is pleasant and considerately scheduled. The fourth one, teachers as the facilitators of knowledge. So teachers has the fundamental role as facilitators to outspread the children's way of thinking and learning. The last one, knowledge. Children act as a creator of knowledge to shape on their first experience and achieve new understanding of themselves and as well as the community. These are the philosophy of the education that has been introduced. The first one, John Piaget's cognitive development philosophy viewed children as a dynamic, self-motivated, and capable to learn. The second philosopher, Lev Vygotsky. So Lev Vygotsky emphasized that the social interaction plays a very important or necessary part in children's learning and development. He encouraged the outlook of a social child who is ingenious in intellectual, resilient, energetic, as well as knowledgeable. Then the third philosophy is John Dewey. John Dewey highlighted the necessity for active learning through realistic experiment. So he assumed that learning happens when children are exposed to the hands-on experiments or hands-on activities and active participation in the progression of analysis. So from three philosophers that has selected by the Leader Cloud, so the Leader Cloud concluded that and emphasize the significance of the holistic development of children and reassure the certainty that children are curious, dynamic, as well as capable learners. Now, these are the formative learning objectives for holistic development that tailored to the children age 5 from January to December. So the whole holistic development includes or contains 6 different areas. The first area will be aesthetics and creativity. So at the end of the year, children are able to supplement sensory experiment and inspired to express thought and feeling. They are also encouraged to be creative, visionary, and imagine, as well as boost enjoyment when participating in the creative mechanism. The second area will be cognitive development. Children are able to provoke and accomplish the curiosity, and it is an intrusive, hands-on approach towards things and people around them. From there, children can discover why things happen and how things work through simple investigation or experiment. The third area will be language and literacy development. So at the end of the year, children are able to express, to convey meaning and communicate with others. The fourth area will be physical and motor skill development. At the end of the year, children are able to nurture in good behaviors, self-care ability, and a well routine, as well as they have the understanding of the restriction of their physical competence, responsiveness for self-protection. The fifth area is numeracy, or we call it as mathematics. So children are able to distinguish and use simple mathematical relationship and patterns. They are also able to identify and use the elementary shapes and simple 3D concepts in daily experiences. Now, last but not least, social and emotional development. Children are able to understand their thought and emotional, as well as the way they express their feelings and need through proper use of language, and they are able to assist in emerging a positive self-concept and an optimistic attitude in them. Selection of learning experiences. The Little Cloud has actually selected few learning experiences. The first one, purposeful play. Why purposeful play? Because it contributes to and enrich all areas of development in young children. It can influence to analyze, make judgment, synthesize, articulate, and understand the fundamental relationship. So therefore, children can learn to give, accept, share, express ideas and feeling, make choices, and of course includes others. So this are the simple graph that shows the different shape of the unstructured free play, purposeful play, and highly structured play. For unstructured free play, children direct their own with no or maybe little teachers' support. For the highly structured play, teachers direct the play while children just purely follow instruction. But for purposeful play, children discover the world through play that is intentionally planned and facilitated by the teachers to accomplish desired learning objective of the lesson. Now this is another selection of learning experiences that have been selected by the Leader Club. Cooperative learning strategies. It is actually involve a small group of children that collaborate together to take full advantage of their own and each other learning opportunities. It is a dynamic and collaborative learning community. So here are some of the examples of the cooperative learning strategies. It includes silent gesture, level of voice, think, pair, share, rally, robin, pairs or praise check, and numbered heads together. So from all of these strategies, children can achieve listening skill, praising and turn taking, and helping skills. Organization of learning experiences. Now, the Leader Club aims to create an effective learning environment for the children. It has physical environment, interactional environment, as well as temporal environment. So, physical environment that deliver the opportunities for children to involve in purposeful play and they can learn at their own pace. For interactional environment, it is deliberate to allow children to interact with their friends, their peers, their mentors, and engage in a shared and continued conversation. For temporal environment, time and space for activity is very significant, such as routine and transition between activities. Field trip. There will be pre-field trip, on-site deliberate, and post-field trip. Pre-field trip is important for children to understand and alert to the purpose of the field trip. Children can talk about what they want to learn or find out from the trip. So on-site deliberate, hands-on activity is very important for children to allow them to make observation of the demonstration and display to make their learning more real. For post-field trip, the teachers can actually plan follow-up activities after the field trip to embolden the children and reflect on what have they learned through the field trip. Play-based center. So play-based center is actually they can shape the typical play's behavior within the children's choice of capabilities, so to inspire social skill, language development, problem solving, and reasoning. Teachers can invest time in endorsing dramatic play as well, because dramatic play can encourage the use of language, symbolization, and getting into character when tell stories. Circle time is very important for children to share thoughts, involve in discussion and practice interactive and collaborating expressive communication, listen to others, and nurture their skill as a part of the social group. They can tell story as well as gain ideas and knowledge from their friends or teachers in a group setting. So evaluation of learning experiences, there will be formal methods and informal methods. Formal methods included 3 tests. Non-reference test is actually used to test the child's performance and to compare to other children that share the same age. For performance-based test, it is used to evaluate a particular competency which focus on the child without compare to other children. For standardized tests, it is used to study the noticeable behaviors and experience with selected sources of material by the teacher. For informal methods, there are checklists and questionnaires, time sampling, event or frequency sampling, photograph, artifacts, and work sample. Checklists and questionnaires can be used for the intention of cultivating a practice and not a report card to evaluate children's accomplishment. For time sampling can be used when a child is repetitive, demonstrating an inappropriate behavior. For event or frequency sampling, it is used to manage a children's unacceptable behavior in the class. Then, for photograph, artifacts, and work samples, teachers can retain the children's completed work or photograph of their work in progress in a folder for their reference or for their parents' reference. Okay, that's all for my presentation. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.